Hi, this is another of our videos on measures. This time, there's a bit of a clue. We're looking at time. So we've got our clock, our watch, calendar, and even our sun timer or egg timer. So we're going to have a look at units. There's a lot of units for time, as you probably know, including millisecond, second. Just have a look at them as they come up. They're going in order of size: day, week, fortnight, month, year, decade, and century. So hopefully you're familiar with some of those. Let's have a look at how they compare to one another. So a minute, 60 seconds, an hour, 60 minutes, a day, 24 hours, and 1 week, 7 days. So 1 week, I think you'll all know, is 7 days. A fortnight, not just a game on the Xbox, it's 2 weeks. A month can be anywhere between 28 and 31 days, depending on which month. And 1 year is 12 months or 365 days. So we just looked at this one. 1 year is 12 months or 365 days, 366 if it's a leap year. 1 decade, 10 years. And 1 century, got the prefix cent, which means 100 years. So we'll have a look at some questions. How many days are there in March? So there's various ways to remember. Some people say a little rhyme, some people count on their knuckles, but as long as you've got a method that works for you, hopefully you know there are 31 days in March. How many seconds are there in 5 minutes? So there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. So in 5 minutes, 5 lots of 60 is 300 seconds. How many hours are there in a week? So we know there's 7 days and each day's got 24 hours. So 7 times 24 is 168 hours. And how many days are there in a fortnight? 14 days. It's 2 weeks. So in these questions, we're going to have a look at converting minutes to hours and minutes. So the first one, 120 minutes, you probably know is 2 lots of 60, which is 2 hours. But what we're actually doing is dividing it by 60, which gives us the 2 hours. Similarly, for 90 minutes, 90 divided by 60, as there are 60 minutes in an hour, gives us 1.5 hours. Again, you probably know that one anyway. It is useful to have an idea of your 60 times table when you're doing these questions. The 60 times table is not as hard as it sounds. It's your 6 times table with 0 on the end. So we're going to look for the multiple of 60 just before the number of minutes that we're looking at. So 135 minutes, you can see that 180, which is 3 hours, is too big, but 120 is 2 hours. And then we've got an extra 15 minutes on top of that, which is 2 hours, 15 minutes. And then 225 minutes. If it was 4 hours, it would be 240. But we haven't got that many minutes. So we'll say it's 3 hours, which is 180, plus the difference between 225 and 180, which is 45 minutes. So 3 hours, 45 minutes. Finally, 186 minutes. We know 3 hours is 180. We've got 6 more minutes, so 3 hours, 6 minutes. Finally, we'll look at a bit of a wordy problem. So you wake up at 7:40 a.m. You take an hour and 10 minutes to get ready, and then you leave your house. It's a 5-minute walk to the bus stop and then a 17-minute journey into town. What time do you get to town? So it's pretty wordy. I've kind of highlighted the important numbers, but what's quite useful to do is draw it out on a timeline. So we start at 7:40 a.m. We take an hour and 10 minutes to get ready. So an hour from 7:40 is 8:40, plus an extra 10 minutes takes us to 8:50. Then we've got a 5-minute walk to the bus stop. which takes us to 8:55, and then a 17-minute journey into town. So because it's 17, you've got 5 minutes up to 9 o'clock, and then you've got the difference between 17 and 5, which is 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. So the actual time you get into town would be 9:12.